Ranji Chimbo Zodenik Mijang, Zondi Molam Chimbo Ngabjata, Pagardan, Sandu Hirmodo, Tumba Tukjichan Laki, Fiagan Sar, Showman Chuji Anji, Podana, Tisum Sanji Ganjingo, and Ronsum Churkung on some Tonza. Tavi Lama Namla Go Fiagan Sar. Good morning. Okay. Teaching on the Vipashyana again today. Oh, yesterday we talked about the explanation of Vipashyana meditation, and it's divided into 5 parts. We talked a little bit the first and second, right, prerequisite condition of Vipashyana, and different forms of Vipashyana. So now a little bit about the third categories of the nature of Vipashyana. So now the third categories of the nature of Vipashyana, there are many actually categories of Vipashyana, but there are some categories that are important to understand. For example, the investigation of external phenomena and investigation of the internal objects, which refers to mind and how to perceive the object. So when you meditate or when you think about, for example, on your mind, right? When first examine the mind, because I mentioned yesterday that Buddhism actually talking about the mind. Buddha said that to train your mind. This is the teaching of the essence of Buddhist teaching. So always working with our minds. So we sort of sometimes, especially when we talk about Vipashyana, we need to kind of investigate and examine the mind. And when we examine our mind, we think that it must be very powerful, right? Our mind powerful to create all these things, So now, where is the mind? This sort of perceiver located. For example, if you look deeply and inwardly, you are really you are completely unable to find the mind. It is, if you like this, examine your mind, where it is, it is outside the body or the inside the body. Where is your mind? Or between these two. This is how we investigate, according to practice of Vipashyana. if you think it is outside the body, then exactly where, It is in any sort of particular object, where? If you say it is inside the body, then exactly again where? Does it sort of pervade throughout the body? Your head, arms, legs, etc. Where is it? So, whenever you do look, no matter when, we discover that mind does not have any form, color, or shape, It's amazing. Then we may think, does that mean that there is no mind? Or does the mind not exist? When you investigate, you couldn't find your mind either inside body or outside body. If you really go deeper and examine. So what? If there is no consciousness, no mind in the body, then the body is sort of not alive, right? It's kind of died. Yet we can see and we can hear and we can understand what we're doing. So we're not dead. Right? So we're not totally disappeared. We still perceive, we still see, hear everything, right? If you do not find any location, then we conclude the mind is empty. I know you already practice this, right? Investigate. Many of you maybe not. If you're not done this practice, that's kind of strange. This is how you practice Vipashyana. Did you go to, I know you went to Vipashyana retreat, right? Many of you, I think. So do you practice like this? When investigate your mind, where it's come from, where it go, where is it? Do you find anything when you investigate your mind? You have to tell me. Where is it? Where is your mind? Investigate. Your head is not your mind. Your arm is not mind. Otherwise, you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minds. We have only one mind, do we? Or many minds? Well, first, yesterday we already talked about, right? What is the characteristic of mind? So we already, thoughts, we usually think thoughts and mind are same, but it's not, right? We talked this yesterday. So now we understand what is mind. So now we need to understand where is it.
When you say mind, could you also say awareness, or is awareness different than mind?
Relative awareness and ultimate awareness, true awareness.
You say there are two awarenesses, relative awareness.
Yep.
Is that the same as mind or different?
Could you say that again?
I'm just trying to ask him whether, when he says the word mind, does he mean awareness? Is it the same?
Right. And so
Westerners' perspective. What is mind? You guys think mind and thoughts are same or different? They're separate. Then that means different.
How can it be separate?
How? Or you understand they are separate.
They're different. You can talk about them differently, different characteristics, but they can't really be two totally different, separate things.
So then same.
No, not the same.
There is the point. You can say there's same or different. Well, everything is changing moment by moment. Your thoughts is changing, right? Your mind is also changing. It is not permanent.
That's what Nagarjuna means when he says at the end of the Heart Sutra, not different, not the same.
No, that's different. That's I think.
This is exactly what we need to retreat on, to exactly these questions.
Well, interesting, okay? If you don't recognize the nature of mind, and then we investigate like this, where is your mind, where it go, where it come, it's very interesting, you know.
Doesn't your thoughts or your mind is influenced by what has come before?
What do you say?
What has happened in the past?
It's already gone.
Forward.
Huh?
But it comes forward to the present, doesn't it? Doesn't it influence?
No, I don't think so. Well, your past is already gone.
But it influences your present.
Influence thoughts, yes.
Yeah.
There, yes. That's why, yeah. Cause and conditions.
So you're saying that the mind is a result of causes and conditions?
Result? No. Mind has, right? Mind has cause and condition. So no, today you don't have to answer me. I'm sure if you, I think you can't find the correct answer if you are very new about hearing these things. So we'll think about it, okay? Think about it. There's another reason you don't have to panic, you know. Where is my mind? I can't find my mind. I'm died or not. No panic at all. Still you are here, you see, you hear, everything is working as usual, even though you investigate the mind. Understand about mind and realized about mind are totally different, okay? So now you maybe if you investigate like this, you will understand, but not realize yet.
So is mind ultimate, or is it,
True. We have two.
okay,
Two ways we can say. That's why Buddha talks about two truths. Ultimate truth and relative truth. We are seeing here everything relative, no ultimate. But they're interdependent, right? Depends each other.
So ultimate truth is independent of causes and conditions.
Everything depends on cause and condition.
Even the great perfection,
Cause and condition.
mind itself.
Mind itself?
The essence of mind is
No, then if you go there beyond cause and condition, beyond samsara and nirvana.
there is a beyond.
Yep, there is a beyond. That's not permanent. You can't say permanent, but you cannot say impermanence. You can't say samsara, or you can't say nirvana either. You are beyond. But no, we are not there, so we should not talk that because sometimes misunderstand. It's strange, you know. I just told you the realization is totally different. Understand. Relative truth, of course, we understand. We have 6 or 8 consciousnesses, right? We see, hear, understand, and everything. And relatively, we understand, makes sense. You understand, makes sense. Relatively, everything is changing, but moment by moment, makes sense, right?
So that would be relative mind.
A relative mind, yep.
The omniscient mind, which is beyond.
But we investigate, like just I told you, That's a little bit higher than relative. What do you call it? Conditions.
Khenpo has talked before about using his table in front of him. He oftentimes points out that if you separate the relative from the ultimate, that's also not correct. So even though there's a relative truth and an ultimate truth, they're in union. Is that correct, Khenpo?
That is correct. Appearance, right? This is how you call it, appearance. Is also emptiness. So that's why we call the union of appearance the emptiness. If there is no emptiness, it can be appear. It is appear because of emptiness. Because of emptiness.
You need the space for the universe to be created? Is that, no?
No. Told you, we are not there yet.
See, I think you just found your topic for the Ely retreat in January. I think this is it. People want to study this, Khenpo.
Yeah.
Is this true?
I say no color, no shape, no form.
It's interesting how you phrase it because I know I'm not there, but I'm 100% here. And so there's the experience of, it's kind of interesting to use something looking for itself. So there's this relationship of experience that is, in my sense, no other than mine. And so because of the idea, what I may understand as emptiness, it provides me with the ray of experience of all of these senses and movement and the rest of it. If not for emptiness, there would be no interdependent relationship.
That's true. That's true. So, I want to say something, but I forgot. Okay, so just let go. So the nature of mind is nature, clarity, and empty. Nature, clarity, and empty. It's actually when we talk about the nature of mind, nature of phenomena, it's actually when you understand, you realize the nature of mind, then lots make sense than just we talking, So that's the point. Nature of mind is clarity and empty. There's no separate. When we try to find the genuine nature of mind directly, we cannot do so. It is both clarity and emptiness. You totally understand that. That's what we call, you realize the nature of mind. Clarity and emptiness. Because this is just how it is. This is the nature of mind. No more, no nothing else. That's all. Clarity and emptiness. That is how it is. If you don't understand that, then what can we do? The Heart Sutta, form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. Very famous, this, what do you call it? 4 words there, right? Shloka? That's the, you don't, you're not helping me. I know that already. How you say that in English?
Sloka is a line. It's just a line of
Line of, there is something nicer than that. Verse. 4. Emptiness, form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. Form is no other than emptiness. Emptiness is no other than, what I say? form. Very, very famous. I'm sure, I understand, I see actually some of you when we read the Heart Sutta, no eyes, no nose, kind of what that means doesn't make sense. It lots of makes sense if you understand interdependent origination. So when you think about this, Heart Sutta, form is emptiness. Emptiness is also form. Emptiness is no other than, what do you call it, the form, right? But in order to understand emptiness, we have to think about form as our sort of focal object. Without sort of dealing with our form, we cannot understand its emptiness. So that's why I don't know you are there or not, but when you investigate where is your body, you will find something. Where is your body? That's how we investigate. When you practice Vipashyana, right? First you investigate, very detailed. You will find the emptiness and clarity. That is your main practice. That is the highest level. That leads you to the Buddhahood, enlightenment.
Do you believe that realization can happen via non-Buddhist methods?
I told you yesterday we have a non-Buddhist Vipashyana. You know, that kind of realization they have.
I'm thinking of art. Art and poetry are often addressing these very same things. The neither this.
Well, you're talking relative truth.
What?
Relative truth, right?
But poetry's often about ultimate truth. It's trying to articulate what can't be articulated.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Okay, anyway, sorry.
Yeah. So there is no reason to discuss emptiness without using something, as base, If you're afraid, investigate with your mind and body. Don't investigate that first. First investigate outside, like house. Where is the house? This house is so many sort of, combinations. Put them together, then we call it house. But if you put piece, there is no house. Then you go detail. Eventually, everything's disappeared. Scientists, they said they don't know how to say emptiness, but they say, we can't find anything. Eventually, they disappear. But they don't know how to say the clarity and emptiness, the union of the nature of the house. They don't know how to describe they don't know how to do that. These actually comes from someone who totally understand, totally realized, and through sort of, amazing experience, right? Someone who has. Then they can explain this. This is the nature. But it's very easy to find that if you investigate, for instance, this house, eventually you get nothing, disappear. Let's talk that, Lots of people saying that, right? That's very easily to understand, not realize, right? Not realize yet, but understand. When you investigate very detailedly, eventually disappear. But according to Buddhism, that is not only disappear. There is a clarity. There is the emptiness. There is the union. Nagarjuna says, without dependent upon conventional terms or the terminology. One cannot reveal the ultimate truth or reality. Always there depends each other, their union. So the mind is normally, our mind is full of the thoughts, right, and problems. But when we have sort of understood the emptiness and the clarity of the mind, and then everything becomes very gentle and everything becomes very peaceful. So that is the point. This is how we meditate about Vipashyana. Normally, you think of the mind as being very strong and powerful. I just told you, right? Our mind is especially when all the thoughts and afflictions arise, our mind is so powerful. So powerful. But when we sort of carefully examine to see where the mind actually is, you find that there's nothing there, just state of peace. When you get angry, do you have chance to investigate where your anger comes from, where it's go? You will find clarity and emptiness. There's nothing there. Anger is nothing there. Anger is no exist. Anger is cause of conditions. Cause of conditions, interdependent origination, which means clarity and emptiness, the nature. Then there is no anger. If you investigate that, even though you are not realized the nature of anger, but you understand intellectually how to investigate when you get angry, really it helps your mind is just calm and peace. But people get angry, its mind is so strong, power, and there is no room to think about it. Just say something, that's the problem. There is no room. Our mind is right now is kind of very narrow, not very open. It's very narrow. There's no room. But if you understand this, your mind is more and more open. Then these afflictions actually make your mind very strong and powerful, but then they will lose the energy. If you understand that's your mind, your anger, your afflictions are not very strong. They're not, they cannot control you. You can control that. So, the great perfection notion of Vipashyana does not mean to examine concepts, but to look into what the mind actually is, continually present and very clear. So this is the reality of our mind. It may seem very deep and difficult to understand, but it may also be something, very simple and easy to understand, because this mind is not someone else, right? It is not somebody else's mind. Actually, it is your own mind. It is, it is right here. Always right here. It is something that you can understand, you can know, you can see. It's difficult to investigate where is my mind, Then difficult because that's not your mind, right? You investigate somebody's mind. But you investigate your mind, It's not that difficult, I think. You can feel, you can experience. But another way, of course, this is difficult. This is difficult because very profound, very deep. That's why Buddha said it's difficult to explain and difficult to understand just, ordinary people because the negative emotions. That's why it's difficult to understand, difficult to realize because of the, obstacles. So that's why shamatha helps, right? When you meditate shamatha, your mind will be peace, calm, relax. You're not there also, you're not there, like vipashana. Maybe you don't understand still the clarity, emptiness, but your mind is very peace. You have good foundation. Then you can understand, you can practice vipashana and really easily. So when you look into your mind, you actually can see that not only is mind empty, it also knows, it is what do you call it? We call it satya in Tibet, cognizant, right? Cognizant. Cognizant. Exactly, you cognizant. It's amazing, amazing. You can meditate on this. And one time, one of my teacher invite a few monasteries, and he went there. And that area in Tibet, that area actually is his root teacher's place. His root teachers born that area, that monastery. He's not from there, but he went there, right? So he thought, this is an amazing place. This is very important for me because my root teacher, born here, passed away here, and he taught here. So important place. So he meditated on great perfection. Many hours. Just people, lots of their activities, right, in the monastery. And he meditated on that, with his nature mind. He's meditated on that, but he understands everything. Still, he knows what is going on. There is no afflictions, no negative emotions, but understand everything. More clear, right? So, no matter how it is described, this is how our basic nature really is. No matter you believe or not, who cares? That is the nature. That is the nature of all the phenomena.
What is it that reincarnates?
Reincarnate?
What is it that, what is it exactly that?
That's totally different story.
Okay, I'll wait for that one.
Relatively everything possible because of emptiness, because of the cause and conditions. Cause and conditions we also called, actually, you say, interdependent origination. Everything possible except permanent, right? Permanent is not possible. We cannot make this flower permanent, can we? No, forever. Permanent means forever. Stay same, no change at all. That we call permanent, okay? Sometimes you say, this is my permanent resident. That's totally different. We're not talking that permanent, right? So, that's our nature mind. It is not your making. You need to know that. It is not your making. It is not the result of practice also. It is just the way it has always been. We are practiced. Why? Because we have to diminish all our negative emotions. Then you will see through, that practice, see your nature mind. But you think, oh, I see nature mind. You think kind of new, but it's not new. It's always there. It's always here with us. This amazing experience, the union of clarity and emptiness. But the problem is that since beginningless lifetime, according to Buddhism, we believe past and future. There's so many reasons. So we have been so sort of occupied with other things that we have never really paid attention to it. Otherwise, we would have already seen that this is how it is. Now, due to circumstances, you are able to hear the Buddha's teachings. You are able to receive a spiritual teacher's guidance. As you have started to investigate how mind is, when you followed advice you have received, you can discover how mind really is. Through meditation, when you look directly at the mind's nature, you can come to have a direct experience of the mind's nature. When you practice Vipashyana, you might say that the mind must be empty. So you think I'm going to discover emptiness. Or it must be clear, so I'm going to discover sort of a clarity. And so on, so. But in general, of course, these are not bad idea. These are good. But they are not sort of appropriate in the situation of meditation, because they do not lead to realization, since they themselves are separate from direct experience. So when you are looking at the mind directly, you are seeing its nature. If you really know how to look at directly your mind, then you will see its nature. That's for sure. Which you can call emptiness, or you can call whatever, selflessness, egolessness, whatever. You can call the union of appearance the emptiness. You can call nature mind. There are so many ways you can say whatever, So you simply need to keep on looking at it. That's all. There is nothing else that needs to be done. Very simple. There's no visualizations. There's no recitations. There's no, dancing. There's no thinking, nothing. Just look directly at it. continually, year by year, month by month. And then you do this when your mind starts to become sort of tired, right? And then just rest. Just rest. And then go back to look at the mind and then rest. Over again, again, your whole lifetime. If you have fortunate enough, then you get sort of Buddhahood enlightenment one single lifetime. You have enough diligence. So when you meditate, like this, and also you don't have good foundation, which is shamatha, then you may think, I can't meditate because there are so many thoughts, coming. When I meditate, so many thoughts coming up. That is the obstacle. Then what? When you examine where the thoughts come from, in order to practice Vipashyana like that, right? Directly look at your mind, and then your thoughts come from. Then you have to investigate where these thoughts come from, what they really are. You find that they do not exist. There's just this nature state of peace. So that is about the investigation of external phenomena and internal object. It is not sort of in detail, but it is enough. If you understand that, that's all. If you don't understand, do some more practice Vajrasattva. Right? So now we should meditate. Well, we're talking about shamatha and vipashana, so we'll maybe meditate on shamatha and vipashana together. So, first, meditate on shamatha without an object, which means meditate by just, resting in the essence. This means the mind is not focused on anything without an object, shamatha, but rest in a completely stable and relaxed. Do not focus on anything, just to relax and without thought. Objectless shamatha. Don't have to focus on anything else. And then you do this, I'm sure then thoughts arise. And to look at the nature of thoughts and recognize that these thoughts are nothing other than manifestation of nature of your mind. To recognize the nature of thoughts and let them naturally dissolve into the nature of your mind and relax in that space as much as you can. Understand? Objectless shamatha meditation. It's like, wave. It's like a wave from the ocean. And they're dissolving into the ocean, right? You need to let your thoughts dissolve into nature mind. It's like wave dissolve into the ocean. If you think about the wave, very strong, and But if you look at if you think about the web, it is just a movement of the ocean, right? Nothing exists other than that. Similarly, the thought is just, movement of the nature mind. Nothing exists other than that. That's why there is no exist to your thoughts. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you do not understand what is the nature of thoughts, then what should we do? We just talked, right? You need to investigate your thoughts, where they come from and where they go. Do they exist somewhere or they don't? There are, so many ways you can investigate them, and eventually you will find out the nature of your thoughts, which is the union of samatha and vipashana, or the union of emptiness and clarity. That just, we just talked about. But when if you understand that the nature of thoughts, then you do not need any investigate, right? And analyze your thoughts. When they arise, you just need to understand or recognize that they are inseparable of clarity and inseparable of emptiness, which means your nature mind. And then meditate on that. If this is difficult to meditate or understand, then it is very helpful to practice, really Vajrasattva. There are a few visualizations and how to purify your negative emotions. That really helps. Because, the elimination of your bad karma and obscurations, well, if you practice this, will remove through this practice, Vajrasattva, which is, and also remove the sort of obstacles to, your shamatha and vipashana meditation. Either you practice Vajrasattva before they practice the shamatha and vipashana, or after. Either way, fine. When you meditate like this, for sure there is obstacles, which is the difficult, right? Difficult to meditate on it. So that means you need some purification. I'm sure you believe karma, cause in karma. That's very easily. You're here, I'm here, different people, different country, different language, different culture, but we're here together because of cause and karma. That's what we call karma. Karma is nothing other than that. So you believe that. We're here together. There are so many causes and conditions. In order to we're here together, so many causes and conditions. It depends everything, cause and conditions. Nothing other than that. So that's kind of, if you meditate on this, objectless shamatha and vipashana together, it's sometimes difficult. That's I called obscurations. Then you need purification. Whatever happened, there is an antidote. So you need to know what kind of antidote you need, right? So now, meditate This is 10:30, so we have almost 30 minutes. Can you meditate on 30 minutes? If you can't, no problem. You can, take a break very, silently, quietly. Don't disturb others. Just do whatever you want. You want to move, you want to see, you want to look, whatever you want, just do very quietly. Because other people maybe really have a good meditation and then you sort of interrupt or disturb. Not good. So even though you want to, take a break within 5 minutes, you can. There's nothing problem. And don't worry, these people are looks like enjoy with their meditation and looks like their mind is stable and relaxed. I can't. What's wrong with me? You should not worry at all that. So just whatever you want, just do it very quietly. Don't harm others. So, objectless shamatha, right? First, objectless shamatha. You understand how to meditate on that. And then just, if you understand, recognize the nature of your thoughts, nature of your mind, nature of everything. And just meditate on that as much as you can, as long as you can. Then you cannot think about a little bit your thoughts, where they come from, where they go, where it is. So that's all, very, very simple. First, of course, very relax, deep breathe, correct your motivation. Once you're comfortable and relax your mind, then that's it.